Hello everyone, I'm Natasha Berta. I'm here today with Brogan Micallef,
Hello.
Tea and Strategy, and we were just chatting about what should we chat about because we're a little bit unprepared today, and we realised we've sort of got parallel lives, and it's a little bit like even marketers get the blues when you fall out of love with your content creation. And
Yeah.
have a chat. And Brogan, do you want to just intro what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Brogan and I'm a content strategist for determined, heart-centered and creative entrepreneurs. And so basically my job is to help you get your message out of your head and to those who need it most. So whether that's through content for your blog or social media, I'm really there to help you put all of those communication pieces together.
Yeah, and everyone knows how hard that can feel, and how all the catch cries for like consistency and momentum and how important it is. And we're the women who are going to tell you that if you come and see us. And even we have been struggling with that at the moment. And I guess how that manifests is different for everybody. I've had lots of absence from my work because of parenting responsibilities, and Brogan was just saying she's been on holiday, and then you get we have to come back and muster it up again, and having that time, I think, to reflect and reconnect with your why of like why you want to do this at all, and bringing that flavor back in and having that bit of space and reflection and just feeling everything freshly and feeling like, does this actually feel good, and is this something I really want to do, or am I kind of just churning stuff out? And I'm the same as you. Like, I thought I was being really mindful and really conscious, but then having a bit of space and coming back to it and trying to fire that up again did feel a bit hollow, and I felt like, oh no, I need to reappraise the situation.
Yeah, exactly. And I found myself going back to this quote that I love from Hilary Rushford, and she always talks about the fact that creativity needs space, and that has kind of was like my catch cry for the start of the year. I was talking about it a lot, and like you just said, like going on holidays, taking that step back really made that hit home. And I think that it is really important for all of us to take that time and to step back from our business, from the content that we're creating, and just to reassess, because like you said, it's really easy to kind of get caught up in the momentum, if you like, and just kind of keep doing things because, I've always been doing this. Like, I've always been sending a blog post once a week, or I've always been doing this video series, or I've always been doing, so many Facebook lives on my Facebook page or whatever. But I think, if we don't take that time to step back, you can find yourself just doing things for the sake of doing things. And as humans, like, things change a lot. Like, what we found fun even yesterday is not necessarily what we find fun in our business today. And so, yeah, really taking the time to take that step back. And I think this time of year, like November, feels like a really good time to kind of do that. I think this is kind of the time where I've kind of find out I always start, looking forward a little bit more, starting to plan out what I actually want, 2017 to look like. And I think it's a really good time to also just to step back and reflect on what you have been doing and what has happened over the course of the year, and what you want to continue on into next year, and what you've kind of discovered, hey, I don't really like doing that, and maybe it's time that I drop that, because these are the core areas that I want to focus on next year. And we can't do everything, so it's like, what do I want to focus on, and what maybe do I want to just leave for, put on the pile for maybe think about, in a year or two. So
and I don't know, I kind of fell out of love a little bit with what was going on in my business, and realized I was trying to do things that someone else had suggested I do because maybe they saw a potential for that in me, and maybe I will do that in 2 or 3 years when things are established in a different way. But what I try to do is take on done for you services, and I realized I'm not systematized enough for that yet, and there's a degree of that I can do, but it just kind of turned into a bit of a mess. And then I got really lost and confused. I had school holidays and then sick people, and now I've started desire mapping again. I don't know if anyone's heard of that, but I'll put a link in the description. And so the desire map does a really cool thing that I was kind of doing naturally anyway, but I didn't realize, and I think most people do it naturally anyway, and that's sort of connecting with how you want to feel, and then actually unpacking from that. So I do a lot of that with clients. I'm like, well, think about your 10-year goal, even if it's not something that you can make tangible, like you can't actually write down what the things are, but when you think about yourself in 10 years, it gives you a feeling, and to operate in your work from that feeling place instead of the doing place, which I've heard a lot of talk about that, moving more into the feminine and out of the masculine, and I've been like, what? Like, they're just words. It doesn't make any sense. But when I actually do it for myself and I bring it right back to the core piece of why am I doing this, for me a huge part is having flexibility and to serve my family, and then unpack from that the ways I want to feel. And that's been making me feel much better about business, even if I haven't been doing much content creation, just reconnecting with that place in myself that is actually a better propeller, like a better place to be propelled from, is just... And since I let go of everything, then I've just had the floodgates open for heaps of new ideas, and I feel really enlivened again. So it's just such a challenging thing to create consistency and momentum when we are so variable as people or within our own cycle. Like, I've been in business for 1 year now, and I'm like, dude, I better stop like saying I'm not really in business. Like, I really am in business now, and fessing up to that, and you know, how I want that to look and what I want to present, and getting clear on my brand values, and a lot of reassessment going on at the moment for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just kind of from what you were saying made me think of, I think it was last week, I was watching an interview that Marie Forleo did with Seth Godin, who I absolutely love. And it wasn't exactly what we're talking about, but they were talking about it in the sense of the whole idea of kind of, you know, following your passion and, you know, doing work that you love. And Seth was saying something really interesting, which I think kind of links back to what you were saying with the desire map. And it's that there's not really any one passion, if you like. It's like it's the energy that we bring to it. And it's also the feeling that we get from that particular thing. So Marie was giving this example where, you know, she's done so many different kind of jobs throughout her career and her entrepreneurial career. So, you know, she started off doing like bartending, and she was doing like fitness. And then when it came to, you know, doing like B School and everything like Marie TV, everything else that she does with her business, she said that the common thread was the connection with people and wanting to understand people and wanting to really feel that one-to-one connection with them. And she said that's why she loved bartending. It's why she loved the fitness work. And so it's that same kind of thing. It's like there's no one right answer. There's these kind of core feelings or core desires that are important to you. And as long as whatever you are doing matches those and, you know, really fills you up and fills you with joy and excitement, then you're going to be fine. Like, it's just kind of figuring out what exactly matches those kind of core feelings and desires. And it's the same thing with content. You know, it's, you know, if you enjoy writing, but everyone's telling you should do video, but you hate video, then you should write, because that is what you love doing. And the energy that you bring to that is going to be so powerful, and your community is really going to feel it. And, you know, we should always, you know, try and expand our comfort zone. And, you know, we're not going to know if we like something unless, you know, we actually do it. But, you know, so like give yourself the chance, like, you know, try out doing video. Don't just kind of say, oh no, I don't like it. Try it out. But if then you realize, nah, this really isn't my jam, like I don't like doing it, then you can make, you know, a qualified decision and be like, that's not right for me right now. Like, I'm just going to shelve that, and I'm going to focus on what really fills me with joy, what has that sense of ease, and what helps me serve my community in the best way possible.
Yeah, and I saw a video today that it was for a social enterprise, and they actually just used a lot of text, and they didn't have the person who's behind the social enterprise speaking to the video at all. They had a lot of text. And I think that video, there's a lot of ways you can approach different things. So say in that example where video doesn't work for you, but you love to write, you can totally make a video of your words. Or like me, I don't really like write. Well, not that I don't like writing. I find it super challenging. I don't come across the way I want to in writing. So if I do video and transcribe it, then I've got writing. Or, you know, you need to make a Facebook feed, but just sitting down and making a Facebook feed doesn't feel right. But when you sit down and do your Instagram, you're just like in love and pumped and happy. You know, in that case, even though it's not the most recommended practice to just post straight over from Instagram to Facebook, it's going to take a lot of the pressure off. I mean, that's what I find. I just create my Instagram feed. I auto post it over to Facebook. And then when I do get inspired to share something on Facebook, it's way more alive. And so at least I'm getting consistency from my Instagram posts. And then what does come on Facebook is transmuting that more high quality energy instead of being a big fat have to. So I think it's great to speak up to someone like you, Brogan, or me, and find a way that you can actually figure out who you are, get clear, because you know yourself as a business person and what you like, and you've tried a few things over time, you know what works, what doesn't, and finding a way to really cover all the channels that you need to cover to speak to your target audience in the way that really does light you up best. Just get a hand with it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's as well realizing that there's a difference between consistency and frequency. Like they're two different things. And I think often we think that consistency is I'm like emailing my list every single week. No, that's frequency. Frequency is that you're doing something at, you know, this regular interval. Consistency is just you show up when you promise that you're going to show up and that you do it regularly. So as long as you decide, okay, I'm going to email my list like at least once a month, as long as you do that and you keep doing it, then you're being consistent. And so I think sometimes like thinking of it that way helps to take the pressure off.
And also consistency could be just if you're personal branding and you are the consistency because you're still essentially you, and you might do, because I have a friend who has, you know, business experience, she has relationship experience, she does interpersonal, like she just covers a lot of things, and she gets worried that she's not being consistent. I'm like, but you know, you're the consistency. And so like you say, you know, frequency or momentum and consistency, it's all a bit jargony and it gets a bit confusing. We don't really know, you know, what the hell we're supposed to do. Sometimes it just gets all so damn overwhelming.
Yes. And I think, you know, if we just take it back to, you know, show up when you say you're going to show up and do that regularly and show up as yourself, then however you show up, like that's up to you, whether that's writing, whether that's video, whether that's through live streaming, whether that's you doing a podcast, as long as you show up when you say you're going to and it's on a regular basis, then that's all you need to worry about. Like the rest is really just kind of like other people's opinions. And yes, there is kind of best practice. And especially if you look at, you know, email marketing, you do want to be in contact with your list at least once a month. But at the same time, like, you know, you don't just want to be emailing them like every week if it feels like a drain for you, or if you're just kind of sending them stuff that doesn't feel good and that doesn't feel like you're actually giving them value, or you're giving them something actionable or something practical. So I think that's really important as well, is to find that balance that works for you. And also too, again, like we were saying before, when you do step back, like take a look at your bigger picture and your why. Like, why are you actually communicating with your people in the first place? Like, what is the purpose of that? What do you want to kind of help them with? What do you want to make them feel? And then look at, okay, how do I practically do that? Like, if I want to really kind of help them and give them practical and actionable info, maybe they only need that a couple of times a month rather than me trying to give them like assignments, you know, like every week or something. Or, you know, so think about it in terms of that way as well. Like, what does your community need from you? And then how can you turn that into how often you show up and what kind of content you actually send them.
Yeah, and like you said, take holidays, allow the time out, and don't let it worry you, and just know that, I don't know, I always use the metaphor of a fire. Like if you load it up with wood and you load yourself up with so many have-tos, there's no, like, fire needs air to make the spark turn in, to feed the fuel. So if you're not letting enough space in, then you basically just have this steaming, smoking thing that won't actually light up, which that definitely explains how my business felt last month, just like this kind of fire that was just smoking all over the place, making me feel horrid. And then just giving myself permission to step back and give it some space has been remarkable.
Yes, space and air is very important, for anything, for anything in business, for anything in life. And especially in terms of content, because I think it is very easy to get ourselves on like that hamster wheel and think that like we need to be pumping out all of this stuff and we need to be, super consistent and always doing this and doing 500,000 different things at once. And we can look up to like other entrepreneurs and be like, oh, but they're doing it and why can't we? And, a lot of the time as well, it's like who we're comparing ourselves to are people who have teams.
Yeah.
People who have other people supporting them.
Yeah. And it's good. Like it is good to have a goal. I mean, I was reading the design the other day, and Danielle Laporte has this Bruce Lee quote that the goal isn't necessarily what you're going to hit. It's just what's something to aim for. And that's been very comforting for me. It's like, I'm just putting my energy in that direction, and I might set a money goal, or I might set a bunch of goals that I might not hit them. And that doesn't mean I've failed. It's just that I've put myself in that direction. That's my volition and my will. And it's just taken a lot of pressure off for me.
Yeah, and it's just about like then you're taking intentional action. You've got a direction that you're aiming for. You know what you're trying to hit or what you're trying to aim for. And like you said, if you don't reach it, oh well. But you've probably got a lot closer to your goal than if you'd never set it in the first place and if you didn't kind of push yourself. And I kind of like that good, better, best approach to like goal setting, where it's like, set something that's going to make you feel really good. Like it's achievable, but like it's a bit of a stretch. And then, set a better goal, which is like, you're kind of just like, I don't think I could achieve that, but it would be awesome if I could. And then like a best goal, which is like, seems completely unreasonable, but like if you completely hit it out of the park, like you just absolutely exploded, everything was amazing, and you could hit this best goal, then you would feel absolutely incredible. And so the kind of idea of that is like, if you don't, it's the same kind of idea, like if you don't hit the kind of higher level goals, it doesn't really matter because you've pushed yourself probably further than what you thought you were able to do. And like you said, it's like pointing those arrows in that right direction.
I guess I thought about like a dartboard. Like you do aim for the middle, but you hit all over the place, and that's okay. We don't really give ourselves such a hard time about it. I think I had to be a kind boss to myself as well, because I was being a bit of a tyrannous boss to my own self-employee, and I just had to go to the beach one day and I was like, yes, I can do this.
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, like even if you hit kind of on the outer edge of the dartboard, that's still a smaller area than if you're just chucking these random darts and you're like in the forest or like, up in some tree or something. Like you're still in this smaller kind of contained space than what you would have been if you were just kind of shooting stuff everywhere. So like having that direction, even if it's not like kind of as narrow as you would like, you're still kind of being pushed in that.
I love that. I reckon that's gold. Thanks so much, Brogan. I'm gonna wrap it up because long videos, we're gonna lose everybody, so we may as well just keep it powerful. Where can people find you if they want to hang with you, if they like your sounds?
Yeah, so you can always come visit my digi home at broganmicallef.com. Otherwise, on social media, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Brogan Micallef for pretty much all of those.
Nice.
And I also have a free Facebook group if you are looking for a content creation mastermind, somewhere where you can share and get feedback on your content and also kind of learn to share your content in a way that feels really heart-centered and that feels really good. So you can also
It
come
is
join
a good
your
group.
content creation mastermind
It is a
if that's your jam.
Yeah, nice. And people can find me, same story. I'm pretty much at Natasha Berta in a bunch of places, and I have a group too, which is a nice place to hang out, but you'll find us if you want to find us. Thanks for having us, and we'll see you soon for another teen strategy another day.
Yeah. See ya. Thank you.